Hello, everyone. My name is Tony, and this is my co-host.
My name's Austin.
And this is our third special guest, Mr. Bones.
Third special guest.
Yeah.
Yo, do me a favor. Name the other two.
The other two special guests?
Yeah. Name the other two special guests, dude. Name the other two that were before Mr. Bones. Yo, fun fact for our viewers. Go back in our podcast and try to find our two special guests that were before Mr. Bones.
Our secret special guests. Leave your answers in the comments below.
Yeah, leave. It's like yai.
Well,
Answers.
Austin. Boo! I scared you, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. You kind of.
Did you pee yourself?
No, the thing was, is it smelled like cologne when you did that.
Oh.
Are you wearing cologne?
No, it's aftershave.
Thank God. It would have been really scary if it was cologne.
I know, right? No,
Yeah.
I'm wearing an entire can of Axe body spray right now.
Now that's scary.
Mm-hmm.
That's scary.
Oh, yep. Anyways, do you know why I scared you, though, and why we have Mr. Bones here?
Please tell me why Mr. Bones is here.
Because our theme today is horror movies. Ooh!
Oh,
editor,
shit.
do something spooky.
Editor, put a ghost on screen.
Do something spooky, editor.
Editor, put a ghost carrying me away, like in like a pose, like how they was carrying Chris Pratt at the start of Guardians of the Galaxy. Editor, there's a ghost right here. Okay. So, what do you gotta say? What do you gotta say, Tony? What do you gotta say?
Editor, don't do any
Editor, do all of it. We own you.
Whoa. First West Side Story now this. Your reputation's getting pretty bad.
We're getting scary. Today.
I'm already scared. Well, anyways, though, I'm a huge fan of horror movies. I love all of it. Halloween, Scream, Halloween, My Babysitter's a Vampire.
You talk a lot about that one. You talk a lot about My Babysitter's a Vampire.
I literally watched it yesterday.
Yeah, so I'm sure, that's
fresh.
That's your number one.
No. Of horror movies, no.
Whoa. Is this gonna be some really like you're not one? I want to respect you more than this. But if you come out right now and you tell me like, oh well, actually the Shining is quite the film.
No, I'm not gonna say The Shining is quite the film.
Okay.
Even though The Shining is a very good film.
It's amazing. But when people tell me it's their favorite, I'm like, come on, dude. That's
that's a slog. I think The Shining is great, but like it took me like 3 watches to fully get through it. Like we get it. You're a writer. Your wife hates you. All right, dude. Let's get to the maze already.
It's one of those movies when it's like when a dude tells you he likes Fight Club, and it's like, okay, buddy.
Or it's like when a guy's like, yeah, no, my favorite movie's American Psycho.
Yeah, well,
I'm literally him. Like, shut up, dude.
When I watched Wolf of Wall Street, it reminded me that we all need to grind. Like, was that anybody else? Like,
dude, like I just realized my mindset's not really there.
I realized that,
and I just got to start working on myself more.
For once,
I gotta get money and fuck bitches, bro.
That's what he was doing in that movie, and like it worked out. What?
I hate those people.
Yeah.
If that's one of you people, you suck.
Yeah, we just lost all of our viewers.
I know. No, I know.
Pictures of the stock viewer, our viewer base dropping at a rapid rate.
It's just really just went shot down. But that's fine. Anyways, though, Austin, what is your favorite horror movie?
Way newer. A lot of like
what?
What? That's not the name of the movie.
Oh,
fucking dumbass! Jesus Christ!
What? I asked what your favorite horror movie is,
and I said it's way newer, bro. Come on. Well, anyways. I was gonna say Hereditary. I really like that.
Oh, okay. That's
Hereditary. The reason Hereditary is my favorite horror movie is because that is one of the. For a lot of horror movies that I understand exist, there are segments of them that have always existed in my brain. Like I understood a lot of movies just as like pop culture. You know what I mean? Like horror movies. Like I didn't watch Friday the 13th and get scared.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I just knew. I was like, oh, this is that movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Like Jason's, where this is that movie.
It's not scary, but it's like you respect it. You love it for what it is.
Well, yeah, because you're
slasher.
You're like, wow, yeah, like that's, but like when I watched Hereditary, that like made me shit my pants, cry, and then I thought about it every day for like a week.
Wow.
Like that was bad. I have a thing. This is complete spoilers for Hereditary. It's complete spoilers. So
spoiler alert.
there's that scene at the party where the girl eats peanuts.
Yeah, that's what peanut table loser.
Ever since I was a child, I watched Alien. And for some reason I saw that their blood is green. If you know that their blood's green.
Yeah.
I was convinced that if that got in my shower water, it would close my throat and it would kill me. That doesn't happen in the movie Alien at all. I thought that was how it worked. I headcanon that. So I've had this perpetual fear of my throat closing. So when she was doing that shit, like she was dying out the side of the window and her head got blown off, that was the scariest scene in anything I've ever seen in my entire life. That was tailor-made to like make me upset. That was awful.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, it was great. I loved it. That shit was like,
okay, lit.
Yeah, no, it was lit. It was totally lit. Like when that fucking girl got her fucking head chopped off.
The effects in that movie are awesome.
Oh, the maggots.
I'm a huge fan of horror though, so I know so many of these movies, but I probably have my favorite horror movie divided into two.
Yeah?
The one that actually scared me the most, and then just my favorite horror movie.
Okay.
My favorite horror movie is probably, it flip-flops sometime between like Scream, Saw 1, Alien.
I saw that one.
What?
I saw one. I saw that one.
What about it?
Like Saw 1, like it's like a pun. It's like,
oh, I didn't mean it as a pun. I just love that movie.
Thanks, bro.
Of course. Appreciate it. But the actual scariest one I've seen is probably Skinamarink.
Yeah?
Yeah, have you seen that?
Yeah, that one's good.
It's just the constant, like, keeping you on your edge. But I love, like, I put Hereditary at a close number 2.
Skinamarink's, when Skinamarink come out?
I don't know, like 2019 maybe?
I was gonna say, like, that's a fairly new horror movie too.
Yeah.
So do you kind of, like, are you also of the mindset, like, do you agree with the perspective that it's like a lot of horror movies from the past have seeped so far into the pop culture that it's like at this point, like I could not be scared by Paranormal Activity because when I turned on Paranormal Activity, I knew exactly what it was. Blair Witch Project, I knew exactly what that movie was. Like, not even because I watched it, saw a synopsis of it, anything. I was just like, oh, Paranormal Activity. This is the one where there's a camera in the bedroom. Like, I've seen so many parodies of this. Mm-hmm. Like, I watched The Grudge very recently, but, like, there's so much reference to The Grudge in everything.
Oh, my God. So much, right?
Yeah.
Right?
That it's like, when I watched it, I was like, oh.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I feel like as time has gone on, though, it's gotten harder to become more scared of like these things.
Yeah.
So like a movie really needs to like push it to like the full limits, and that can either go really well or really poorly. Because when a movie tries to push it super far, you could get shit and slop.
Yeah.
But if it is a very, very fine line, I feel a very, very fine line.
Like between the shit slop and the good stuff.
Between like the shit slop, a good horror movie. And then there's like a very fine line of like a movie that's like actually like, this is scary and this is like great.
What scares you in a movie? Like,
jump scares don't. I have a huge tolerance for horror too. So that's why like,
do you still get scared?
What?
Do you still get like scared?
No, not really.
Yeah.
The only like when I first watched Hereditary, it didn't scare me really. I was just like, oh, that's lit.
No, dude, that shit.
But like
freaks me out.
I watched it with my some of my buddies last year. One's like, yeah, no, I had nightmares about my mom for like a few weeks after. I'm like, oh, really? Dude. That didn't affect me at all. I'm not trying to be like that tough bitch, but like I just grew up always watching horror movies.
No, I'm the weak bitch. You're the dom in this relationship. Like it's bad.
Thanks. I'm big,
like it's fucking bad.
So you get scared easily of horror movies.
Oh my God.
Shout out Trish, my mom. She made me watch all these horror movies when I was like 5. Like I watched Saw like 1 when I was like probably like 6 or something.
Yeah.
I love the Saw movies. I could talk about the Saw movies for hours.
Dude, I am like the exact, like when I was like I said before, I saw the movie Alien and took away the green blood can close my throat and kill me, and was scared of that in the shower. I don't think there's a shower scene in the movie.
There isn't one of them.
Okay.
Not
Alien
1, but there is. It's in like Alien like Resurrection maybe, or it's in one of like the weird ones where like clone Ripley's like in the shower or something and the alien's in there and he like sniffs her. It's weird.
I get scared over anything. Like it's bad.
No, I don't. I love it. Like I grew up playing like FNAF, Phasphobia, like all those horror games. Like I play like I just love horror.
Yeah.
It's awesome in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just a big guy like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're probably really into like are you one of those big on like creature designs? Like is that a big thing for you?
I love practical effects in horror, especially in horror movies. So like I hated Smile 1. I didn't even watch Smile 2.
Isn't
right?
Smile 1's demon practical effects though?
It is. Now, this is where I only give Smile its credit, where credit is due. The practical effects in that movie are very good. Pretty good. My favorite practical effects by far of any horror movie is probably Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Hellraiser 1 especially. Because when you take in the time for when that movie came out, I think it was like 1980 something, right? And you get these like the Cenobites and they got their like weird nip clamps and like their heads opened, but they're still like speaking. And that one like chattering guy and it's like full mouth. And I put a picture of the Cenobites here. So like, just for like reference. So like people know what I'm talking about. I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
But like the practical effects in that movie are great. The movie itself it's all right.
Yeah, it's like okay.
It's got like 10 good minutes.
But it's got your favorite practical effects.
Oh yeah. And then those movies get really bad after like 2. And there's like 12 of them.
That's something else that really is synonymous with the genre at this point.
True.
It's kind of like I'm not sure if you can say it's okay. The thing is it's impossible to exclude it from horror movie genre, but it's just capitalism is the reason.
Mm-hmm.
But there's another thing that I think has made the horror genre less scary is sequels.
Definitely.
I think without it. Because a lot of times I would say I'm actually struggling right now to think of a single example where this doesn't happen, is where you have a first horror movie and then the second one comes out and it's not an action movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm trying to think of an example because a lot of times the more sequels a horror movie gets, the more that is now just sort of a shitty action movie.
Exactly. And that's the big problem with it. Like a great example I can give you is The Strangers.
Yeah.
I loved the first Strangers movie. Super grounded, very realistic, pretty scary for what it is. It's about this guy who proposed to, spoiler alert by the way. It's about this guy that proposed to his girlfriend. She said no. They have to go back to their house then, and then these 3 just randos. Like, you don't find out anything about them, their lore, their names, their faces. Just break in and kill them. Just cuz.
Just cuz. So what happens in the second one?
They do it again, but now it's stupider and like weirder. And then they made a
like,
third one called The Strangers Pray at Night. And it just got weird commercialized slop. And like, it's bad.
Yeah, did it end up falling into like the, but now they're ready for it type thing? Or was it?
They tried to do that. Like the second one falls like a mom and they're like this like daughter and like a brother. And it's like, they have some smart moments, but like that first one is just so realistic.
Yeah.
It's very grounded, which I like. Well, like realistic as far as like movies go.
Yeah.
You know? But I gotta ask you though. So you don't really get that much scared of horror movies, but you've seen a good bit of horror movies, right?
Bro.
You've seen enough, right?
Yeah, but I don't get scared in the moment of horror movies. Post fact though, I just be like staring at my wall. Like if you talk to me after a horror movie, you can't.
I'm a big fat liar.
Why?
There is one thing that scared me as a kid.
What?
Devil. And You're Next.
Why'd it scare you?
I didn't see either of these movies growing up, but I saw the trailers for them like constantly.
Yeah.
Devil was this movie about an elevator from hell.
Oh my God, I know this movie.
It was about like 11 people in the elevator, and I was really scared of elevators for like a year after that.
Yeah?
And then these 2 movies, I bring this up because I recently watched these 2 movies to conquer my fear because I was scared of these trailers really badly as a kid. And they're so dumb. I don't know why and Your Next one is just a lamb mask. The lamb mask scared me.
Yeah.
That's all that scared me.
Well, sometimes that's all it takes is a prop or like a prop, a character. Honestly, a lot of times it's a design that just like fucks with you.
Oh, yeah.
But
that's really the only thing I can think of as a kid that like really scared me growing up. And like the Your Next, like I could imagine like that lamb like in like my closet at night. And I'd be like sitting there with my Nerf gun like, I'm ready for you, bitch. I got my Z blaster. You know, some shit like that.
Dude, honestly, I don't get scared in the moment, but post fact, it definitely is always in the back. Like I tweak like a motherfucker. And if you ever watch me watch a horror movie, you'll notice that like during it, I'm chopping it up. I'm doing fine. We're doing great. But then like afterwards, all of a sudden it's like mom just hid my Xbox and I'm just like locked in. Like all of a sudden I'm like silent. I like don't talk about it. It's like I'm way too high and like going nonverbal. It's I'm just like people will talk to me, will be like, yo, what'd you think? And I'll be like, yeah. And like that's it. That's all you can get at.
I know I'm gonna watch a horror movie now with you.
It's weird, bro. I get like quiet. The one thing like when I watched The Grudge really recently, I was just like quiet afterwards because I was just thinking about that shit. I was like, damn. By the way, if I had to give a shout out, that was honestly really fucking good.
The Grudge is very good.
What I really respect about it is a lot of times I feel like there's a couple staples of horror movies that ruin it for me a little bit. First of all, and this is going to sound stupid because this is more of a sound design thing than anything, I hate songs that ramp up to a jump scare. I think it's kind of dumb.
like a suspense noise kind of thing.
I hate suspense noise because it ruins it for me. To me, it doesn't like.
That's in a lot of the movie. What's it called? Us.
Yeah.
Us is a lot of audio, like very like audio sensory stuff.
Sometimes it's done well. Another recent movie. I feel bad that I'm talking only about recent movies, but Nosferatu. If you watch that shit in theaters,
that was very good.
If you watch that in theaters, there's this weird fucking thumper like from Dune thumper bass noise that happens in the theater.
Would you call that a horror movie? I'd call it more of like a suspenseful drama in some ways. Because like it's got Nosferatu, the big vampire, but like I wouldn't call it really like a horror movie. Like it has horror elements.
It draws the line where it's like this is a story that's been told so many times that even
that is true.
Yeah, that's like true. This is more of a drama.
But Nosferatu, that's a pretty smart character though.
They had a good sound for suspense. Like
they really did. Like that soundtrack was great.
That was good. I don't like when it's a very stereotypical like and then it like builds up and then jump scare. I think that's dumb. What I respected about The Grudge was also that it reveals it plays its hand almost immediately.
Have you seen The Ring?
I've not.
I feel like you would really like The Ring.
You think so?
I think so.
Yeah, because like I really liked how it was like.
God, I love horror.
It was still scary. I was still very frightened by The Grudge, but it was like you are introduced to what is even the monsters. What would you even call the Grudge? Like what would you even call her?
Like it's an entity.
Yeah, sure. You're introduced to the entity or whatever you want to call it in like the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's a great introduction. But like from that point forward, you know what's going on. You're very clearly aware of like who it is that is like, or not who it is, but like you're aware of the problem characters and you know what they look like, which a lot of times that's the reveal for the end of the movie. And then once it happens, the scare is gone.
See, I kind of disagree. I feel like that happens a lot in movies where it happens just like bam.
Really?
You know? Yeah. Like in the Halloween reboot. Michael kills those two British people pretty quickly on. That was a good movie. Or like, there's so many. Like in Scream, when you don't know who it is, but like you see the big bad. I think that's more of a newer trend, if anything, of the big bad waiting till like the end to reveal himself or like itself, and like try to keep that like suspense alive. Because like what's it called? Like horror movie villains. This is my take. As time has gone on, they've gotten weaker, not as interesting, lame. Like the stupid Tarot movie, or
Tarot
like
was fucking stupid.
Tarot was terrible. They got the fat guy from Spider-Man. It's just like, I live somehow. Someone opened the elevator for me. That was dumb. You know, you got that, or you got so many other people. I don't like Smile. I thought Smile was stupid. Like they wait to the end to really reveal the big end monster. But like I feel like a good horror movie when they got like a strong character, like they reveal like what it is like in like the beginning is. Like Hellraiser,
I guess.
Saw in some ways with the pig, you know.
There's a lot of like subgenres of it. I feel
there really are.
Like I mean, I know you seem to be a big slasher guy.
No, I just really respect slashers because that's what really started. Like horror's been around since the first horror film ever was this French movie, and it was called like I know a lot
Really?
about. Yeah,
I was gonna say no. Like, tell me. I'm
it was
curious.
just like the Devil House or like some weird shit. It was a European like German or French film. I don't remember, but that's what like started. But what really got horror popular in like American media was these big slasher villains. Because yeah, you got like Dracula and like the Invisible Man, but like when you think of like horror, you think of Michael Myers,
Yeah, you do.
Freddy Krueger, Ghostface,
Jason.
Jason, the girl from The Ring. You think of all these like really just like big name hitter characters, and in all these movies, they mostly reveal themselves pretty early on. Like Freddy, of his existence well early on.
It's true. Yeah, a lot of those examples you really do know very early on.
Well, Jason's a little bit different though, because Jason in the first one, he's not the killer; it's his mom.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
You haven't seen what's it called Friday the 13th?
I swear I have. That's his mom.
The first one is Mrs. Voorhees is the killer, not Jason.
No way.
Yep.
Is that shown in the first movie?
It is, because she's like, "You killed my boy. Yes, Jason. I will kill them." She's like crazy because her kid drowned in the lake.
Oh shit!
And then it's a reveal at the end that Jason was alive the whole time, and then he like kills. And then all the movies happen.
Yeah, and then all the movies happen.
And then like 20 more movies come out for some reason.
That's true. That's famous. I'm trying to think of. There was a movie that came out when I was a kid that like.
I'm sorry, that was another example.
No. Though it did stick with me a shit ton.
The first It is great. The second one is ass, in my opinion.
Yeah, it stuck with me a ton.
The Tim Curry It is also pretty good too.
Tim Curry man?
Yeah, Tim Curry was it for a little bit.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
but
he had weird like green hands.
It was good. Bald. The first one, again, second one's too actiony for me.
The second one is too actiony. I don't love how they're like. I get why they're older. I don't like all like the work that they did with the characters. I think it was kind of just like lame. It was fun, I guess.
Yeah.
Shining's great. Doctor Sleep was a good sequel, though, I will say.
Do you remember the horror movie? You're gonna have to help me out here. Where it was a Zoom call. Unfriended. It was called Unfriended.
Yep.
That shit was the worst movie I've ever seen. But not a terrible premise.
I think a worse horror movie is probably what's that one? Truth or Dare.
Truth or Dare
or Dare was so bad.
Bro.
And they're like, the Mexican nun cut off her tongue. And then she ended the game, but we started it because some guy in Mexico made us play.
Wasn't there a scene where like there was a dude on like a roof and they were like, "Yo, Truth or Dare?" Like, and he just had to play it on the. I don't know what I'm.
I remember the ending of that movie was like they made a YouTube post and it was them asking like everyone like on YouTube like Truth or Dare, and immediately got like 1 billion views. And I'm like, how did this unknown random YouTube channel
that's not how
just get
works.
1 billion views in like a minute?
That's not how.
That's not how that works.
They were view botting that shit.
They were view botting that shit all
That's so
the
fucking
way.
fake.
So stupid.
There's a lot of really shitty like, oh, we make online shit now.
There is so much of that we make online shit now.
Like that's a Truth or Dare towards the end. Unfriended was egregious because first of all,
egregious.
Well, what kids name one friend group ever who's met on Zoom calls? Like who's been like, yo, bro, just send a Zoom link into the group chat. Join that shit.
Do you remember?
Name one.
Oh my God, what's that one YouTuber's name? That one really weird YouTuber that did stuff with the cats.
Oh, Shane Dawson.
Shane Dawson's horror movie. Do you guys remember that? Smiley.
I do remember Smiley.
That was really bad.
Smiley.
That was really bad.
You know, YouTube.
That's a horror movie for a whole nother reason.
YouTube's home to a lot of horror short films, and some of them.
It's home to a lot of horror characters. Well, as we're talking about characters, though, who do you think is like the smartest horror villain like out there?
Smartest?
Yeah, that could have gone away with it. Wasn't for like one like little thing. I have my answer.
Tell me.
I'd say, what's his name? Billy and Matthew Willard from Scream.
Oh yeah.
I know the first guy's name is Billy, and I don't remember the friend's name. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. But I feel like if they weren't so stupid when it came to Sydney, they totally could have gotten away with it. Especially because like he stabbed himself and it was like the 80s, you know? Stu.
It's very.
That's what his name was, Stu. I remember that.
It's very rare to have a horror movie where you think the villain is like that they're smart.
Wow, I've always been a big fan of the villains and stuff.
No,
like, I was Ghostface for like 6 years in a row when I was a kid.
I like them too. I just think like it's very often that you're like, oh, that's a really fucking stupid way for this guy to die.
Yeah,
there's a lot of those, which is why it's hard for me because I feel like a lot of the times when I end up really respecting a horror movie, I also am a very big fan of the cliche of like, of just a vague curse or like thing that isn't just a person. Like going back to Hereditary, that was just sort of like a curse that was on that family. There was something behind it, and there's like a big lore reason behind it.
I feel like though lately it's been like there's a lot of shit with like the devil.
Yeah,
you know, Longlegs, Hereditary.
Yeah.
I'm sure others that I can't think of right now. A lot of it has to do with like satanic ritual-esque practices, which like I get, you know, I appreciate. Like Longlegs was great, don't get me wrong, but like
that was a big
like,
fan favorite.
That one was very good, but like I like it when like a studio tries something different, tries something new, like a town of people that burned a janitor alive because they thought he was a pedophile, but he wasn't. I hated the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street.
That was the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street?
No, because the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street, they actually made him a pedophile. The whole point of Freddy Krueger is that he's not.
That's
fucking
weird.
hate that, right? And why would they change that? Because then it just takes away his whole character. And like his cheesy one-liners like, "Oh, you having a nightmare about me?" I love him. I love the original, not the weird pedophile version.
Don't remake horror movies.
You can't remake a horror movie. You cannot, unless it's Halloween like 2017. Fine. The two after were very okay. They weren't that good.
Yeah, sequels don't work. It only works when you finally forgo it and you're finally like, it's fine.
Oh my God. Have you ever seen Children of the Corn?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it is great.
Actually, I love horror movies.
I tried to watch Children of the Corn when I was drunk.
Ooh.
With a group of people, and I was the only one that watched it. I enjoyed it. I stayed up. But everybody else fell asleep watching it. And I remember like checking out here and be like, "Yo, anyone else seeing this?"
I remember I went on a date and back in like middle school, like high school, and I saw Hansel and Gretel with this girl. If you remember that horror movie,
nope.
It was bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it was really bad. And the entire time she kept like trying to hold my hand. I was like, "Stop! I'm trying to watch a movie."
I was ruining it.
I was really into it, but yeah, like that one was really funny. That one's really bad. Yikes!
But after you finally give up on them on sequels being horror movies, I feel like they're okay. Yeah. Like I went to the theaters recently to watch Alien Romulus.
Great.
I
really liked it.
I really liked it.
My mom really hated it.
I would not say that's a horror movie.
You really wouldn't?
I really think that's like, I think like the same thing, like horror elements.
I think that has horror elements. I think, well, you could say about the whole Alien franchise as a whole then, because one was kind of a little bit like a horror movie. Two really wasn't though. Two was more of an action like shooter if you think about it.
Yeah.
You know?
So would you say Romulus is more horror than because I feel like it's kind of actiony.
I'd say Romulus is more actiony than horror-y.
Not to say it's bad at all.
Oh, absolutely not. Romulus is great.
I thought it was
but
awesome.
Then,
great cast of characters.
One quick question for you though, before we eventually have to wrap this up. What would your worst nightmare horror situation be if you could be in one? Like one situation where you're like, this is absolutely awful. There's zero way out for me. What would it be? Lame as hell.
Quiet Place and I kill myself. Quiet Place and I kill myself.
I would do great in the Quiet Place.
I would not. You're telling me you're living that long like a mouse?
I think if it came to the Quiet Place or any like zombie bullshit, like World War Z, ass. I hate those zombies.
But
I also hate that movie too.
Like that.
No. If it was like the Walking Dead zombies, then totally.
Quiet Place sucks because it's like if there's a zombie apocalypse where it's like, oh, like, you know, you can't go outside or you know what shit like that. But it's also like you can't make noise literally ever or you die instantly.
I'm gonna go to some YouTubers.
Hey, that's Roger. Turn the back on.
But yeah, Quiet Place and I kill myself. No way. There's no way I'm making it through that.
God, there's so many that I can think of. And there's so many horror movies we haven't even covered. There's like zombies. There's
Zombies I'm more
vampires.
fine with than the because zombies to me is in a similar vein, but like zombies, I'm still allowed to talk. They dumb as hell.
True. Slow. Well,
Slow
depends,
as hell.
Depends what kind of zombies you're talking about now.
Yeah.
Are we talking like I Am Legend zombies, where they're jacked? They can run like 50 miles an hour, but they can only go out at night.
Yeah, they can only go out at night.
But then you have like World War Z zombies. I hate that movie, by the way.
Mm-hmm. There is another one.
The book is so good.
Well, the only other after Quiet Place came out, very shortly after they decided, what if we do the same premise but with a different sense, like Bird Box. Bird Box also blows ass for me.
Bird Box was pretty good too. I feel like if I had to go through one of those, I would choose Quiet Places. You can like see.
Yeah, no, me too.
I'm being able to hear is nice and all, but like, dude, like if I can't see what's coming at me, bro, it's so cooked.
Yeah, bro. Tony likes to see what's coming.
I like to see what's coming.
Yes, he does.
If I had to pick the nightmare scenario, God, there's so many I can think of. The elevator, it seems pretty bad.
No,
but
it's not, bro.
If we're talking like me right now, I would not be in an elevator. I don't think I'm that bad of a person. I don't accidentally run over anyone with my car. You know, some weird shit. But dude, those saw traps. Some of those saw traps are bad.
Yeah, Saw also sucks because it's like Tony,
I want to play a game.
I want to play a game.
I love how the ending of every one of those movies, it's some like big twist and got the dun dun dun,
yeah,
dun dun dun, dun dun, and some guy's like game over, and then like he slams a door. I love those movies so much.
You smoked a cigarette when you were 15.
You got high when you were 12. Dun dun dun. And it's like the super like fast like camera like editing, and like the room's filling up with water, and I'm like, no way, you know.
Oh, this says so much about me as a person. Some of that shit's so unfair because it's like you stole like
a loaf of,
you
steal a loaf of bread and they gotta cut off your hands in 1 minute or die.
Yeah, like what the fuck, bro? What the fuck are we talking about?
I know, right?
That sucks,
dude. One of those craziest saw traps that I think of is the heroin pit needle. The heroin needle pit. You know what I'm talking about? Where like the one huge like cartel dude throws Amanda down a pit of the dirty and used heroin needles. And she has to like find a key.
You fuck with that?
No, I wouldn't want to be in that pit.
Why not?
I'd rather be like one of those dudes just watching like, oh no.
Shit, bro, I got something those needles don't want. You know what I mean? They're scared of me. They should be scared of me.
Or like the shotgun carousel. That one was bad. Reverse bear trap is a classic.
Yeah, reverse bear trap sucks.
Yeah.
But it's just a lot of times I don't think the punishment has once ever. Sometimes it's
I don't agree.
But like a lot of times they do not fit the fucking crime, dude.
Sometimes yes.
Sometimes it's literally comedical.
I don't know. Sometimes like they do give good reasons, like the neo-Nazis. And it's that one guy from Linkin Park who's the main neo-Nazi in that movie. And he's like super glued to
the
like
guy from Linkin Park.
Yeah, and he's super glued to the back of the Camaro, and he's got to like reach a lever, and he doesn't. He kills like his neo-Nazi girlfriend.
Back when movies used to kill Nazis.
Yeah, thanks woke.
God, can't even kill a Nazi.
I know, anymore. Awful. But like, dude, those movies are great. That's a topic for another day.
Though. Yeah.
But if I had to choose a terrible, terrible horror situation, that we got sidetracked. God, there's so many awful situations.
I'm not losing my ability to see. Also, because I'd fuck up instantly. I'd
Bird Box might be the worst. Or World War Z, because those zombies are nuts.
Yeah, but like, I would rather be able to see.
Yeah.
Like, you take off your blindfold once,
then you're screwed, because like the random schizo demons kill you.
Yeah.
Remember? That's like what it was. It was like
it was like a weird
and they never elaborated on it.
It was like a weird light outside, right?
Yeah, it was some weird light. And only like really like mentally insane people
were fine.
Were like, you gotta look at the light. Trust me, bro. Just look at the sun for a few seconds. I saw heaven. And he smiled. Some weird shit like that.
That's how I talk on a 2-man, bro. That's you know what I mean?
That's what I'd be saying
you
to
gotta
the husband in the bar. You gotta look into the light. It's like my friend in the back, right? He's just like,
yo, guys, be my friend. The light is here for us.
I'd say Skidamaring's a pretty bad situation to be in.
That's worse.
Doing my thing is with Midsummer. Have you ever seen Midsummer? Like Midsommar, how you pronounce it?
Yeah, it's a weird pronunciation.
Dude, like just leave. like no one's like keeping you there. Like you're in like Switzerland in like a pretty like popularized area. You know, like just go. Like no one's keeping you there. Why are you staying there? And of course, it's the Swedes.
Well, I mean, that shit happens sometimes where it's like you just don't have to stay at this location. You don't have.
You really like don't like at the strangers thing. Like if I saw some like weird creepy ass bitch banging on my door asking for Becky or whatever she said, first thing I'm doing calling the cops. I see the cut my landlines out because it's 2005. I'm getting my car and I'm leaving. With all due respect. I don't think his phone even did that. And he called his friend later. He called his friend and didn't call the cops.
I'd feel bad if we didn't mention the Jordan Peele horror movies because
we do have to mention the Jordan Peele horror movies.
I'd feel bad going a whole pod without
Nope is great.
Nope's great. It's also like barely a horror movie.
My thing with Nope, there's one thing I don't like about Nope, and I've talked about this before, not on the show, but just in general. I think the whole thing with the chimp attack was stupid.
Stop.
No. Don't give me those looks.
That shit was so cool.
I think it was sick.
That shit was bad.
And I think it was so cool. I thought it was done awesomely. And I love that main actor. Glenn was my favorite in The Walking Dead. Don't even with me. But I feel like it just served no purpose. Like
that shit was fucking.
It's supposed to be the guy. It's like he's trapped. It's a message for us. Shut up. No.
That shit was
Why
badass.
do I care about some random chimp attack? They gave us this whole like 20-minute detour lore for a chimp attack in an alien movie.
Because it was fucking awesome. It was cool.
It was cool. I'm not denying you that. It's a great movie. I give it like an 8 out of 10. I love
the chimp brings it down for you.
It doesn't bring it down. It just confuses me.
Bro, I just...
Like, I don't want to see more message and symbolism in how terrible I am in society. I get it already, all right? I know. But like, I just
fucked with Bonzo. I want it to be said I liked Bonzo. Or whatever his name was.
Whatever the chimp's name was.
Chimp's name? It was probably Bonzo. I fucked with Bonzo.
What other
Bonzo?
Oh, Get Out is great.
Get Out was great.
Get Out is very good.
Get Out? Like, yes, I will.
If only there was a chimp attack in Get Out.
If only there was a chimp
If only. That would have been a 10 out of 10 movie.
Then if it cuts to like an old-timey TV show with a chimp on it.
I really like Jordan Peele. I love his switch from comedy to horror. Too.
Yo, he described it in a really cool way too. I saw an interview with him once, and he was like, "Yeah, well, it's just sort of the same thing."
Yeah, right.
He was like, in comedy, you just have to surprise people and make them laugh. In horror, you just do the opposite. So it's like it was easy for him to think about because he was just like, "Oh, well, this is how to make something shocking. I went one way, I just got to go the other way."
I think that's why I'm attracted to horror so much too, because like I love comedy and I love making people laugh and stuff. Yeah. But I also love all that scary shit. Like, do you know what else was great, which we didn't talk about? Black Phone.
What's Black Phone? I've never
Black Phone is a movie with Ethan Hawke, and it's about child kidnappings back in like the 80s or like the 70s. Heard of this movie. And I talked to my mom about it. My mom's like, yeah, because that was a really big issue back then, because this was before like the news and the media was like around. But like missing children was like a big issue back then. It's about Ethan Hawke and how he kidnaps a kid.
Wow.
And like, I thought the ending was kind of stupid.
What happens in the ending?
The ending is like, there's like the kid that Ethan Hawke kidnaps. He like uses like black phone to like communicate with them. That's like in the basement. And he communicates like all like the souls of like the dead children that Ethan Hawke kidnapped and killed to like beat Ethan Hawke. I thought that was kind of dumb. But like everything before that, I'm like, this is lit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what else we got on here. I haven't looked at this yet.
Yeah.
Ooh. Do we have Dr. Giggles on here?
No.
You guys don't know what Dr. Giggles is?
No.
Dr. Giggles is this movie about an insane doctor who goes around killing people in this town. And his only lines in the movie are just like cheesy one-liners. So it's like is this what the doctor ordered? And he's like holding like someone's head and like a scalpel. And he's like looking at the camera like.
And is this good or is like what?
Oh,
like,
it's awful, but I love it. I love movies like that, like Leprechaun. So
yeah, there's a lot of holiday themed ones. If you group the holiday theme, like holiday themed horror movies.
I love terrible horror movies. Leprechaun. What's it called?
There's a bunch of
My
Christmas
Bloody
ones.
Valentine.
The Christmas ones are crazy. Krampus.
Krampus is, oh my God, Krampus is so good.
What about, there was one really shitty slasher Christmas movie came out last year, or like 2 years ago.
Oh my God, Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is a holiday horror movie with Addison Rae and Zed from Zombies.
Yo, you are the first person to like Thanksgiving.
No.
I've never thought
I
so.
love Thanksgiving. It's so bad. And it's just, this year, there will be no leftovers. You know, it's based off of a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Which one?
I don't remember. But in a Quentin Tarantino movie, there was a trailer for the Thanksgiving horror movie. And the director of the Thanksgiving horror movie loved it so much that he turned it into an actual movie. And I love it because it is so bad and it knows it's bad. It has Addison Rae, people. Let's be real here.
Yeah, Addison Rae is known for her good acting.
And the guy from Zombies is also known for his good acting.
Yeah,
Dude, that movie is so good. I love it. Like, I even watch it when it's not Thanksgiving. I just watch it because I love that movie.
Yeah, you're the first person I've ever heard who likes
You
Thanksgiving.
don't like that movie?
No.
What?
Thanksgiving? It
Wait.
was like...
Have you seen Pooh?
Pooh is not even... bro, Pooh is never on my radar.
Pooh is a terrible horror movie. I love it. Or what's his name? The lumberjack. What's that lumberjack's name?
Mhm.
No, do you know the lumberjack I'm talking about? Who's the main lumberjack mascot? Paul Bunyan! The Paul Bunyan horror movie.
Soon there's gonna be... They're coming out every single mascot as soon as they hit... what's it called? Like, free usage.
Yeah.
As soon as they're not...
That's what happened with Pooh, Paul Bunyan, the Grinch.
Steamboat Willie. There's gonna be a Steamboat Willie horror movie.
I believe
coming
it,
out.
honestly.
No, that's real.
There's probably one of us coming out soon, too.
Yeah, as soon as we're on the free market, baby.
Yep.
Free market FPS horror movie.
I really wish I could give you an answer for what my biggest horror nightmare situation would be.
I think you'd enjoy any of them. You'd like get in them and you'd be like, "Oh my god, guys, it's so!
Oh my god, say game over! Say game
over!
over! Or I get the tape from the ring, oh my god, I can't wait to put it in.
Please tell me they have the heroin needles here. Please tell me."
Where is Ghostface? But yeah, I wish I could give you a direct answer, but I can't. I just love horror movies so much. And there's so many awful situations for you to be in. If I had to give one though, if I could be in one, my babysitter's a vampire.
Stop.
Not because it'd be bad.
Yeah, because the babysitter,
Yeah,
right?
man, it'd be great.
Stop, bro.
Oh, man.
Stop.
Have you seen that movie?
I've seen The Babysitter.
Have you seen The Babysitter's Friend too?
You've told me about this movie every time I've seen you for the entire year. There has not been one time I've talked to Tony and he hasn't been like, "Yo, but when's the My Babysitter's a Vampire episode coming out, guys?" I'll be like, "Tony, that one's not happening."
I'm
He's
still
like,
mad about that cliffhanger. We can't end on this. Let's talk about one quick horror movie, then.
So he gets to decide now. He
Yeah, I
gets
got to decide now.
Yeah, now we can draw
When
it
we're
out.
talking about horror, I pick
All right.
Jaws. Do you think Jaws is a horror movie?
Yeah,
You think so?
I think so.
Really?
What would you say, like suspense? Because then I feel like just fuck you. Because like what like you're telling me that shit wasn't. When that shit came out, it dropped the rate that people went to the beach.
Yeah.
When that shit came out,
sharks became super hunted, which is terrible.
when that shit came out, it scared people so bad they stopped going in the ocean, and everybody hated sharks now.
Have you ever seen Jaws 3D?
Yeah.
With the shark that breaks the screen. It's like,
When that-
please put a picture of the shark. You know what shark I'm talking about too. And he looks worse than these sharks.
Yeah, he looks good.
The people who are making the movie this shit's lit.
As long as you're not making Jaws 3D.
As long as you're not making Jaws 3D, you're doing something right.
Another pretentious
Well-
pick. Don't say Jaws is your favorite horror movie either.
No, absolutely not.
It's
You can't
not.
say Jaws is your
Shut
favorite
the
movie.
fuck up.
We
God
know
damn.
it's not, dude. Or The Shining.
Yeah, it's what I
The
said.
Shining's a great movie, but
Full circle movie.
this is a full circle moment.
Yeah.
Wow.
Almost a ring of sorts. The Ring. And that was the FPS podcast.
That's awesome. Do you think this tape is gonna be cursed after this now?
Yeah, it's gonna be sent to the bottom of the ocean, and then a mummy's tongue is gonna start saying our names.
Oh my god, Mummy.
And then years later, someone's gonna
Fuck,
say the same
dude.
words.
There's so many horror movies.
Truth or dare?
We should do a part 2 one day.
Yeah. First topic to get a part 2. What about that, bro? When Halloween comes around.
All right. Everyone, thank you for joining us on this wonderful episode.
Say bye to Mr. Bones.
Bye, Mr. Bones.
Bye.
Ah!
He doesn't like how you touch him. Don't play with him like that. Don't play with him like that.
Fuck you, man!